Hey everyone, and welcome back to New Woodshire and episode 7 of our Let's Play series on a very glorious sunny morning. So today what we need to do is, first job, get the wheat harvested in field 8. So that's all ready to harvest. We desperately need to do it because the chickens are all out of food. So they've got no food, so they've stopped producing eggs. So that'll be the first job to get those sorted. The cows are settling in well. So we've got just over 1,000 litres of milk since they've been in, which is not too bad. They're doing okay for food for now, so we don't have to worry about those. They do need the feed area cleaning. The horses doing well, we don't need to worry about those either. So they're up to $14,954. So yeah, the first job is to get our wheat harvested. We've also got a couple of fields to get fertilised, field 5 and 24. The sunflowers in field 1, the new field we purchased, are ready to harvest. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait for those, the sunflowers in field 5 to be ready to harvest at the same time. That way then, what I'm planning on doing is leasing a sunflower header, because it's not something I tend to use very often. So we'll harvest both of those fields at the same time with the leased sunflower header, and then we can get that returned, so we're not leasing it overnight or anything like that. It's one thing I never really do is use the actual dedicated sunflower headers, which do harvest at I think about 9 miles an hour compared to a standard one which is 6, so they do the job a bit quicker. And depending on what time we'll get, we'll have a look at possibly getting some more cows if we have any more money, doing some contracts. The grass field's not going to be ready for the next in-game day, field 4. So once that's ready, we do need to look at getting some more hay bales so we can get some in stock. And then after that cut, that should be enough hay bales to keep us going for a good while. So let's just get these header hooked up. Not the best place to leave the trailer blocking the road, but it'll be fine. Once we've done this field, we can actually fix this bit of damaged area where I was doing the terrain landscaping, and it for some reason took a huge massive chunk out, way bigger than what the brush was. Are we leaving a straw swath? Yes. What we'll do, we'll bale the straw up. We'll probably just take those straight up to the barn to sell, just for a little bit of extra money, because we've got plenty of straw bales for now. So this field shouldn't take too long to do. And so what I'll do, I'll have a look at what contracts are available, see if there's any ones worth doing, and also get those other 2 fields fertilised. So hope everyone's had a good weekend. Unfortunately this video's hopefully going to be only a day late. Hoping you're watching this on Tuesday morning if you're watching it when it goes up. For some reason I'm having internet issues again, which I was hoped was all sorted. The 4G hub I've got, so I'm using the 4G, which was a lot faster, but they're having issues with the network in my area, so where I live currently, so I'm getting really slow speeds on that. All I keep getting on the updates is the repairs are taking longer than expected, so I have no idea how long it's going to be before it's back up to what it was. I'm hoping it's not going to be too long. So videos may be a bit late for the next few days, week. So I'll try and get ahead of getting things uploaded and stuff as much as I can. So over the weekend I've had to publish videos I wasn't planning on publishing yet because I just couldn't get the right ones uploaded in time. A little bit down to my own fault for not being a little bit more organised and making sure I got the videos I needed to get uploaded first done. But yeah, sometimes the unexpected things crop up and bite you. So I'll take a pass off this end as well. It's quite steep there to turn around. Should be enough then to give us enough room to turn, and we'll just carry on up and down the field. So coming up to 62%, 63% full. So what I'll probably do is set a worker off, and then we'll go and grab the tractor with the gravity wagon so we can get this unloaded. Just check if we've got the AI vehicle extension on. No, it's on normal, so that's fine. So we'll leave the worker to that. We'll go and grab the gravity wagon, which is there. We'll just take the 7230. So I did mention in the last episode I was having trouble getting the sprayer to fill up at the placeable liquid fertiliser station. I have sorted that out now. I didn't realise you had to open the cover on the actual sprayer unit itself. So the front tank fills up fine, you just drive up to and then press refill. But the actual sprayer unit, I didn't realise you actually had the option to open the cover. It's not something I ever noticed before, and obviously when you go by pallets it automatically opens, but the refill point you have to open it manually. So that's all sorted now, so it is working. So fortunately the combine's turned around. It's not quite full yet, so it's 89%. So I'll get this off unloaded and then we can leave the worker, although he's missed a little bit. So we definitely need 2 passes on that end of the field for the worker. So I'll follow him up to the end of the field and get it unloaded. So yesterday I put a video up of the farm build on Midwest Horizon. So a lot of people seem to like that one. So really appreciate the comments and the likes on that. That will be the map that I'm going to replace Ravenport time-lapse series with, which I'm finishing at episode 50. So I may return to Ravenport in the future when there's some new mods out and a few different things, just to kind of revisit it. Possibly may make a few changes depending on what mods are available when that comes out. But the first episode on Midwest Horizon may be up before Ravenport actually finishes. As I say, it just depends, because I've actually recorded the first episode on Midwest Horizon because I was really looking forward to playing on the map. So we get the baler, so at least we can get that down there to get the straw done. It is a 4x map, so it's quite a big map. It's got some really nice sized fields on. So I'm really looking forward to getting the series on that done. Marwell Manor I am going to return to, but I'll be honest, as much as I like Marwell Manor, I think it's a really nice map, really well put together. Oxygen David's done a really fantastic job. I am kind of already got a little bit bored of it. I just think it's, because it's a small map with big fields, it's a bit kind of limited on how much variety there actually is. It's kind of just the same fields over and over again. There's not much difference in fields and only 2 sell points, so you're always just going to the same places all the time. And I have got 26 episodes, and you think like each episode is like 2.5 3 hours long, so I have put quite a lot of hours into that map. But yeah, I am getting a little bit bored of it. I was thinking about potentially moving over to that series over to Oakfield Farm, but then personally I played Oakfield quite a hell of a lot on 17. Although I never did any videos on my channel for Oakfield, there's not really anything different to it. I don't really have much interest in going back to it, but that may change, but depending on what other maps come out. So yeah, at the moment I will say I will return to Marwell and kind of finish it off to a degree. Well, I think it's also that thing with starting off with big fields and really having to start off with some fairly big equipment. There's really nowhere to progress to on it, so it's kind of got boring quite quick, to be fair. But I don't want to just leave it as it is. I do want to try and finish that off. So at some point we'll get back to that, hopefully soon. Felsburn, I'm thinking of finishing the Felsburn time lapse on episode 70. Yeah, episode 70. So that's not going to be long to be finished. The plan was the horse aggravation, because there seems to be a lot of interest off the first video on that one. So that will be replacing that. But again, the videos on that one will probably be carrying on. What I'm going to try and do is just get Ravenport and Felsburn finished as like kind of extra videos over the next few weeks, all depending on the internet, if I can get videos uploaded. So that's the kind of plan with the time-lapse series, because I do want to try and reduce how many different series I've got. As I think I mentioned before, with the Grizzly Mountain, I really didn't expect to be so much interest in that. So it was kind of a, I'll do one video, see how it goes, and wasn't really planning on it doing as well as it did, so that kind of added an extra series I wasn't really planning on doing. But I was kind of interested to have a go, see what it turned out like. So I do want to try and get down to just 3 time-lapse series, preferably 2, but 3 at most. So hopefully we can get that sorted. So I don't want to keep leaving too long between the different maps and slowing down progression on those. So all I'll do is we'll get this field finished off. I'll get all the bales finished. I have moved the other straw bales. They're now in the shed, because we did quite a lot of harvesting and straw bales. Was it in the last episode or the one before? I can't remember. That's the only trouble with doing the Let's Plays and being a bit limited on time to actually record the videos. It is usually a while between episodes. I say I was hoping to get this one done over the weekend, but just didn't have time to sit down and record. So can't exactly remember what we did in the last one, but yeah, I'll get this one finished off and we'll have a look at seeing what else we can do. Okay, so that's all the wheat harvested. We've got all the straw baled up. So we'll top up the chickens first and then see where the best price is for selling the wheat, and then we'll take what's left and sell that. So if we come round this way so we can get a better angle of coming through the gate. We do also need to come in and clean the feed area. So we'll get the bucket on the skid steer and do that at some point. Or at least the eggs can start being produced again. So there's a little bit left. I think there's just under 2,000 litres left in the combine, so we'll go and get that, and while that's filling up we'll check. So the current best price for wheat is 714 at the restaurant, which It's not the best price, but it's not too bad. Although looking at this, we're not going to have a huge amount left. I didn't realise the chickens actually took so much. Oh, nearly 12,000 litres. I thought they'd take about 4 to 6,000. I suppose that one thing we have got nearly 400. Oh, we haven't even got that many in here, have we? How many chickens have we got? Oh, we have now. Yeah, so we are up to capacity, so the reproduction rate's stopped near enough. So yeah, forget how quick they actually reproduce as well to fill up when you've got a few hundred. So apart from cleaning up, that's the chicken sorted, so we're not left with a huge amount. So what I'll do is get the last bit out of the combine, then we'll head over to the restaurant to sell this. Alright, so let's sell our 11,313 litres of wheat, so not a huge amount. I say just over $700 per litre is not going to bring us in a fortune, but every little bit extra helps, and we have got the chickens fully fed off that field, so in the long run it'll be worth it. So they're up to 14,300 litres of wheat, so that's going to keep them going for a good while. So that little bit of extra money, we've got the straw bales to sell as well, which if the price of straw is worth taking them up to the barn, currently it's $60. I'm not sure if that's a good price. I think we can get better than that, so I may just get those loaded up on the trailer and leave them on there for a bit until we get a better price, because I'm pretty sure we can do better than $60 for those. So we'll head back to the farm, I'll get those cleared off the field, and then we'll have a look at the contracts and getting some fertiliser down as well. Okay, so I've got all the straw bales cleared off that field. So what we'll do next is we'll do some fertilising using the actual fertiliser spreader. There's a couple of contracts that we can also do which are worth a decent amount for how long it's going to take to actually do the field. So we'll use the actual spreader. So we drop the sprayer off, and then the front tank, because we don't need those. We'll need to put the narrow tyres on the actual spreader. They've currently got the wide tyres on, so we'll get those swapped over. Now I'll just quickly open up the contracts menu, and hopefully those two contracts are still there. Right, so we've got fertilizing contracts. We've got field 23. No, so field 13 is worth 4,270. So we'll accept that one, and hopefully I've got the multiple missions. And then we've got field 26, which is another 4,300. So we'll take that one as well. And I think that was pretty much it. So there's those two, which it's nearly $9,000 for two contracts, which aren't going to take too long to do at all. While I've got this on, we'll do field 24, we'll get some fertiliser on that, and also field 5 as well. So we just pull up there, should do. And so we want to customise on the big extension, wheel setup, narrow tyres, and yeah, spreading unit on. So no, purchase. Do I need to purchase the narrow tyres? So I had to purchase the narrow tyres, which we already had on the Ravenport. Well, that's not an issue. It's $500 for that. So what we'll do is we'll get field 24 done, which is just here. We'll do that one first, and then 26 is just there as well. So we'll get these two fields done, and then I'll get the 5 and 13 done as well, because 13 is a bit further down the bottom by field 22, so we can get 5 done on the way to 13. So actually we'll do 26 first. So we'll get this unfolded. Seems a little bit bumpy there on that end, and that could have been tidied up a little bit. Okay, so that's field 24 and also field 26 done, although so that's 24 fully fertilized and 26 done, so we can complete the contract for that one. So that's 4,315 for that one, so we've just got 13 to do. So if we bring up the map, if we head back down field 5, seeing if there was a better way to get to field 13 from this end, but probably easier just to go back towards the main road and then down that way. So that's taken us up to $37,196, so we should be able to get, after doing the other contract, another 12 cows, which takes up to 24. So we head straight down. We've plenty of fertilizer, which actually I forgot, I've installed the variable spray usage mod off the mod hub. The only thing I don't like about it, it defaults down to the lowest kind of setting. Would be nice if it kind of had a default as the original usage. So we've barely used any fertilizer, and I've only just noticed. So if we open up the menu, we can see yeah, the current spray rate is 0. Why the minimum is 0 is a little bit odd. So if we increase that to this is the kind of thing, I don't know what's kind of a reasonable setting to put this on. I don't know what the maximum is. Obviously we've seen the minimum is, so we set it to 500 and see what that's like, because I don't want to do it where it's too low that you're barely using anything, and then it kind of, then you're not really using fertilizer much at all. So we turn that on and see how much that, so it's going down a little bit quicker. As I'd just done those 2 fields, I didn't realise we hadn't actually used any fertilizer at all. That doesn't seem to be fertilising. Okay. So this field, for some reason, doesn't seem to be applying fertiliser, so we'll have to leave that one. I'm not quite sure why. I don't remember. I know we, unless we did spray it, or I sprayed it, I can't remember. So it's been a while, but I thought it had gone to the next growth stage, that we could have got another layer of fertiliser on by now. So field 13, we want to go straight across here and try and work out. Oh no, we should have turned. Well, it looks like we're going the long way round. Anyway, I'll go and get that field done, and then what we'll do, we'll go and get some more cows and get those back to the yard. Okay, so we're on field 13, so again, this shouldn't take too long. It's not a huge field. I've been thinking while I was doing some of the other ones about how, because technically we do have no loan whatsoever because we fully paid off the loan from Ravenport when we sold everything off. So I think it may be worth just increasing the loan to buy another field, because I think the fields we've got, although field 24 is a decent size, they are still fairly small fields, and I think that was one of the problems with Ravenport. Was it was always difficult to really earn a decent amount of money because we were only ever harvesting small fields all the time, and we didn't have a huge amount of them either. One of those downsides to the field prices being what they were on Ravenport. So I think it may be worth taking out a loan to get a bigger field, which is just going to help increase the progress a little bit, because it means we are going to be able to make a bit more money. So possibly field 9, which is right next to the farm, would be a good one. So something I'll have a think about. Look at the field prices, see if it's a good value for money. I believe it's currently got soybeans grown in, so that might not be a bad one to buy when they're ready to harvest. Previously it had potatoes in, which kind of not really wanting to buy that while of potatoes in, not wanting to do a potato harvest. So potentially look at that. I think it's something we'll really do, because it's going to take a while for the cows to really start paying off, as we're only earning small amounts of money to be able to increase the numbers. And the 6 horses we've got are still going to take a while before they're fully trained and we can sell those for any sort of profit. But once they are sold, that's going to bring in a decent amount of money that we can then look to further expand our land and acquire some more. So we've got this tiny little corner to do, and this field will be done. So what I'll do then is we'll go and get 12 more cows. We've still got field 8, we need to just tidy up that little bit of the field where it's damaged. And then I'll go over that with a cultivator if we get time. I'll probably put some corn in that one, because corn seems to be quite a decent crop to do. It seems to have a fairly decent yield, and if you sell it for around about $900, you do seem to make a decent amount off the field. So that's the contract on 13 done, so we can accept that one. It's another 4,270. Collect. Just check there is no more worth doing. Yeah, so we'll leave the contract work for that. So that's $41,466. So 12 more cows will be $30,000. That will leave us with 11,000, which is enough for seed, fertilizer, and anything else we need to purchase. Okay, so we're back at the farm. We'll drop off the spreader. I just think they put workable mirrors in these. They're always at an odd angle that you can never actually use them in first person. So I'll drop that off and get those beacons off. So we'll finish with this tractor, so we can get this parked up. And then what we'll do, we'll jump in the truck and get the animal trailer, and then we'll head up to the animal dealer. So, yeah. Small amount of manure. Check how much slurry we've got. It's not going to be a huge amount yet, so 2,298 litres, which for 12 cows isn't too bad for what, just over 24 hours we've had them. I forget where I parked the truck then. So all I'll do is I'll go and grab the next 12 cows and get those into the actual pasture. And then we'll look at trying to get field 8 repaired and get that sorted before we finish up. Okay, so we've got the last 6 for now. So we're down to 11,466, so which we'll keep at that for topping up seed, fertilizer and overnight costs and any maintenance repairs we need to do. So we just back these in, get these unloaded. So that takes us to 24 cows now. So I think around about 1,000 litres per day of milk. So over the next 24 hours we should go up to around about 3,000 litres. So still going to take a while before we start to get a fairly decent amount of milk. Now that we can start making some money back off the cows. Not sure how the milk works, whether it's like each individual cow at that production rate produces X amount of milk, or whether it's kind of multiplied. More cows you have, the more each individual cow will produce. I presume it will be that each cow will produce a set amount of milk depending on the productivity. So if you had two cows in 2 different pastures, they'd produce the same amount of milk as 2 cows in the same pasture. I don't think it multiplies, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we're only 1,093 litres, 20,000 litres of hay silage. So that's enough to keep them going for a day or two until our grass is ready. We could do topping up the straw and water. One thing I completely forgot when I was putting that straw bale in, that you can open the back of this. I could have just put it in a bit easier. I think it was Royden that mentioned it in the comments. For some reason I completely forgot. That's one thing, because I'm so used to using that one with square bales and not the round bales that you can load in through the back. And I've completely never even thought about doing it. I'm just running up there for a tractor, and our New Holland's right there. So if I just back this up so we can get the straw blower on, we'll just top up the straw and water, because that's something we can do. If needs be, we are running low before the hay's done, we can give the cows that grass bale that we've got in that shed, which it's only a 10% productivity, so it's not going to be a huge amount, but it's better than nothing. So if we come round this way to make it easier to get in the shed, and hopefully this tractor will fit in with these doubles on. Yep. So we'll top up the straw. This should be enough to top those up. And then we'll do the water as well, and then what we'll do, we'll go and grab the cultivator. We'll get field 8 cultivated. That's the waters all topped up. So straw and water all done for the cows. So all we'll do is get this dropped off. We'll get this field here, field 8, sorted out, and that'll probably be us done for today. So we can drop that off, and we'll go and grab the cultivator. Possibly we are going to need to put lime and plough that section once we create the new field section, but what we'll do is we'll just leave it because it's only going to be a small amount. We'll worry about that next time it needs ploughing and lime. We'll just do the whole field again. That tiny little bit's not going to matter too much. So we get our cultivator hooked up. I was thinking about installing the manual attach mod for this series, but I've seen quite a lot of people who are having a few issues with it with various other mods, so I thought it best to leave it out for now until I know it's working a little bit better. So I'm not quite sure exactly what mods are causing issues, but there are quite a few people on Facebook saying they're having problems with it. So yeah, one I'll keep an eye on for some updates. So if we press Y to allow create fields, and actually before we do that we'll just paint the grass texture in, so we're not risking damaging the field again if we're doing it afterwards. Should do. Oh, don't want to work at. Actually, might be helpful if we do higher work. At least it's going to give us a straight edge for this. Right, now stop the work there, set the GPS, that's fine, turn that on, and then away we go. So just check allow create fields is now turned off. Nope. There we go. Get to the end of the field and accidentally start ploughing up the road, or cultivating up the road, which I did see. I think somebody mentioned it in the comments when I was doing the Fellsborough time-lapse series. Where I had the farm originally, there was one area of land where I'd obviously got the concrete texture painted on, and I just went over it with a cultivator to create a new field, and they said it reminded them when they went over a road with theirs. Somebody had not long put a picture on Facebook of somebody, it looked like they had a ripper on, and they'd gone over a road and obviously ripped up all the tarmac on the road between fields. I think it was somebody obviously not quite paying attention when they got to the end of the field. So fortunately in this game you can't do that, but it would still create a field under the actual road, because technically it is just normal ground under there. So what I am going to look at doing is getting Courseplay installed for the next episode. There's a few people who have been asking about just the basics of Courseplay, setting up basic field courses. So if I can get it working on this map, we'll use it on one of the fields. Just showing you how I do a basic course setup. But unfortunately on this map a lot of the fields are fairly square, so I don't really see much need for it, especially with the smaller fields as well. I mean, it might be easier to just explain quickly how to go through the basics, and I think there's been a few changes since I last used it with the last update as well, so I'm going to have to look at the changes. I think they've changed the way you do set up the courses now. If we drop this down, I'm going to have to do one pass across the bottom of the field where I just slightly missed a little bit. Well, that should be all good. So what we'll do, I said we'll get some corn planted in this field. I'll probably do that next time. So let's just check. So that section, it's not showing up, it needs lime or ploughing, which is quite odd. Maybe it was still recognising that area of land even though it was no longer a field because it had been deleted, that it had been lime and ploughed, well, subsoiled. Right, so we'll leave this episode here and I'll get this field finished off, as we are running out of time again. So hopefully you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. I've got new Farm Simulator 19 videos coming every day, and if you do have any questions, comments, suggestions on what you'd like to see, then please do let me know in the comment section. I do appreciate everyone that's taken the time to subscribe to the channel as well. As I think of this morning I've passed 26,000. I didn't really do anything for 25,000, which I'm hoping to kind of get some sort of subscriber special and a giveaway sorted at some point, so keep a lookout for that. So just massive thank you to everyone for the subscriptions, for viewing the videos and likes and the comments. I really do appreciate all of it. So thank you very much for watching this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.